returns Janet must have ordered.
Huh?
Fancy returns Janet must have ordered.
Does it say Town of St. Croix Falls, Centuria, Wisconsin?
No, not mine,
Oh,
Janet.
I was gonna say.
Oh, that thing doesn't.
Yeah, bring in a box of those. I was gonna
Run
get.
out of the other ones.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. You must need recharge.
These must have just been cheaper than the other one. She's a cheap
Radiator
cheap.
Yeah.
She doesn't waste a nickel.
Must be the name.
She probably was like,
the last
those are
meeting
1
because I
cent
saw
cheaper
you."
than the ones we have. Let's get those.
Yeah, but 1 cent.
I like that she's frugal.
It's low on Freon or something. Yeah.
Alright, we can call a Town of St. Croix Falls meeting to order. Evidence, proper notice.
The agenda was posted on the website and out here at the town hall on October 14th, 2022.
Alright, Jeremy, pledge please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. She went away, when it's in those jerseys, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Alright, roll call please.
Katie Appel.
Here.
Will Bergman.
Yep.
Jeremy Hall.
Here.
Sharon Kelly.
Here.
Mike Dorsey.
Present. Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
You had a chance to read through the minutes from our last meeting on 9/21.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Recognition of audience. Anybody have anything to say? Yes. You can go first.
My name is Kathleen Moline. I live at 1540 200th Street. I am here tonight to voice opposition to the addition of the phrase "or similar uses" in zoning land use ordinance number 1 that's being looked at tonight. I would say, first of all, it's vague and entirely subject to interpretation. Second, there's no provision to say who determines or defines what these similar uses might be. Third, the existing ordinance, which does regulate motor racetrack performance and events, already prescribes definitions for both. I understand this change has been prompted by Epic Kart Racing, which has been operating at the Washington County Fairgrounds near Stillwater in Baytown Township. I spoke with Evan Munson, who's the planner from Baytown Township, and also with TKDA. He recommends that if any changes are made, that they be as specific as possible and includes stipulations. He also notes that Epic Kart Racing provides no revenue to Baytown Township. Our existing ordinance limits activity to once a week. According to the website for Epic Kart Racing, the business runs the entire weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. With that in mind, I'm wondering if this is the first step in rewriting the recently adopted and laboriously created Ordinance 1702. I live in the township and have been operating a business for 10 years, which is valued for the serenity and natural setting. I too have gone through the special exception process to operate a tourist rooming house, and I too would love to have the phrase "or similar activities" added to my business operation. My business is regulated and permitted by the township, county, state, and federal governments. It provides revenue to each entity, the majority to the township and county. It creates additional revenue for other businesses throughout the community. As you consider this change tonight, I ask you to consider, is this an expansion of a business? Is Epic Kart Racing no longer welcome at the Washington County Fairgrounds? I'm curious why the change. Can the owner-operators demonstrate that their business is not going to impact existing businesses or the residents of the surrounding area? How much revenue will the town get from Epic Kart Racing? is it worth compromising other businesses and the other homeowners and residents of our township? At present, the township has a defunct track on what was once agricultural land. The track is in disrepair with a number of safety concerns and obvious violation of several ordinances for derelict vehicles, disposal of refrigerators, containment of runoff, and possibly more. I ask you to uphold the existing ordinance and contain motor vehicle activities for the well-being of established area businesses, residents, and the very beautiful landscape which we steward. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And I will give you this letter to enter into the record.
Thank you.
And I want to say thank you so much too for sending out the agendas by email. I received it last Friday and I really do appreciate it.
Okay, good to hear. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right.
Sit down.
You're gonna have to do it in front of all of us now.
No, I actually, on the way here, I'm like, I make sure. Sorry about that, everybody.
All right. Anybody else have a comment that's not on the agenda?
Well, I'm not sure what the process is, but I'm the owner of Epic Kart Race, and I'd be happy to talk directly or indirectly.
Well, we'll come up to that when it's on, when we
Okay.
get to it on the agenda. Committee commissions and employee reports, financial and treasurer report.
All right, you guys got any questions? It's pretty straightforward. It will be on next month's receipts, but I just wanted to let you know we did get a check from the insurance company after I sent them the proposal to fix the roof, so they must
Okay.
have just taken that, and we had $1,000 deductible. So, and I had sent them the security stuff already, so.
Okay. So, does that mean we can go ahead and schedule that yet this year?
Yeah, whenever you want.
Okay.
I saw they were out here looking, or I was assuming
Yeah.
it was them.
Anybody have any questions? Alright, we'll move on to the road maintenance and highway report. Steve?
Right under completed jobs, the first one there, 140th Avenue, Fairgrounds Road. Had a couple different people run into the yard across the intersection. Went down and inspected, trying to figure out why they've never done this in the past, and also there. Somebody had run over the stop sign and just picked it up and stuck it in the dirt like 20 feet from the road. So it's standing, but it wasn't even remotely close to where it should have been. So put a new post in there, moved it back out to where it should be, and then I took the brush back about 25 feet on that corner. So now we have over 600 feet of visibility to the stop sign. So if they're running through it, they're not paying attention. I did order a double arrow, yellow arrow sign that will be installed later, but it hasn't arrived yet. So that shouldn't be an issue. As of right now, you can see it past the Gandy Dancer. So there should be a problem.
I noticed that the sign, the road sign, street name, you can't really see it very well until you get up to it. It's kind of set back. I don't know if we can move that up to the corner so it's more visible.
Talking opposite side.
Yeah, I believe it is.
I'll have to look
Maybe
at that.
put it-
Yeah, I'll look at it.
Okay.
And I
So I was
got
just coming out of town and, or the city and, looking for it and, whatever. It's hard to see.
Alright, that River Road, that plug culvert, tree fell down and rain must have washed it up and just packed leaves up onto it. Anyway, that was easy with the backhoe, just dig it out of the way. Over on 180th Street, that culvert you mentioned, Will, went through there, got down in the ditch, dug them up pretty good, but the ground actually comes up,
I've
going
noticed that
farther
too.
back in.
Yeah,
I have to get with the owner to see if they, cause we'll have to see in spring what it does.
yeah,
But I'll bet you it needs to be trenched farther back to get that water to flow.
yeah. Well, I'm sure all the soil will just fill that up. Yeah,
Yeah, and there's trees, I mean, you'd have to take a lot of trees to dig a trench there.
yeah. But it's better now.
Oh yeah, it'll
Yeah.
flow now, it's wide open both ends. The fiber optic installers, I met with the foreman of that crew the other day. They were having a little problem with leaving rocks in the ditches as they're going through, and I'm trying to mow, they don't go along together, good. And maybe I shouldn't have said this, but I told them if I find any more, you're gonna get a bill. I hit some the other day, didn't wreck the blades, but I bent them, I was able to straighten them. So, I guess I did it at the right time, there's like 8 guys standing around, the head guy was there. So before I left, I could hear him yelling at the other guys to get on the 3 backhoes that were moving, go get them out of the ditches. So, they're done. I don't know, did the pallet get picked up by you?
No. I talked to them too and they didn't come get it.
It may not be theirs.
It's theirs.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I did find 3 other pallets today, but not out of what they're doing fiber optic.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna leave any more rocks. Let's see. Oh, the hot box, because of working with the town of Osceola on Balsam Lake and patching potholes with the county's hot box. They liked how well it worked out over there, they went and bought one. So now we don't have to wait for Fridays when the county's not using it. We can split it with Balsam Lake as needed now versus trying to rent it on just Fridays.
Another piece in the co-op.
Yeah,
Yes,
good.
that's a good piece of equipment too.
Yeah. I know the city just bought one too.
And Alden, I believe, just bought a spray patcher.
Oh.
So we'll have to kinda
Oh,
work in that too.
Great.
And the mowing, I just today finished up going through all the roads 3 passes. Some I'm already starting on 4, like 200th Street's got 4 on it right now, most of the way, but, I'm getting close to where the boxes are, and I'm hoping the leaves will drop now. We've had these, it'd be a lot easier. I'm talking foam beds. Some aren't marked, and when they're in grass this tall, they're hard to see. Anyway, but, hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll be done with the mowing. Plows are good, at least the western plow I brought in, brand new one's in the shop now. Went over that, functions, everything's good on that. The big one's outside, there's no problems with that. I left the sander in there because it's blocking our trailer.
Okay.
And I assume they might go in there for doing the re-roofing project and all that, so I figured I'd just leave it in front of the trailer until they're done over there. And we're out here looking at it, but that's all I saw.
Yeah, I think he was just out here looking at it to bid it.
Oh, I didn't know if they're gonna start right away or.
No, they were just here last week,
Oh, okay,
Yeah, there was 2 pickups out there and they were walking around
okay.
looking at it. But, just kinda went over it, I mean, it was looped up and everything and put away, the battery stored inside, so it should be just picking up the backhoe, load it when we need it, but I like to keep something in front of that trailer, just a hook, you can hook onto it and go if you had air brakes. Spinny.
can't you
Anybody-
buy a lock?
I don't know how you lock a big, it's got the big panel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not like
It
the,
needs air, I mean,
You have to have
Could
a
be
truck for that.
difficult, but
it'd be
yeah.
hard.
Yeah. Has anybody got anything for me?
You got the sander on, or you got,
No, I do not. The sander's sitting in the
so
shop.
you got, I'm just thinking some shouldering, or you got that off? I mean,
The shouldering machine is off
Yeah.
right now. It says hauling rocks the
Yeah,
other day.
Do you need some shouldering done?
I just noticed some roads, like 200th and 140th kinda caught my eye. And then, yeah, just where it's starting to break, it's settling,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
Some
can
of the
tell it only
intersections too.
takes About an hour, hour and a half at the most, put it back.
I mean, we got some nice weather coming, if you're looking for something to do, I
Yeah.
think it
Oh, yeah.
might be well worth your time.
Then the sander, I just moved it beside it. I wasn't gonna put it on because I didn't.
Yeah.
Usually that's kinda, you get it predicted coming, I put it on. Let's see what else. Oh, on the rocks, we did, about 2 hours over in Balsam Lake the other day. As we're mowing, we're finding rocks, so we're running back there and grabbing them. And then we got 2 dump truck loads of 200.
Put it in our rock pile?
In our rock pile?
Yeah, they're just dumped up in that pile up there.
Not in Balsam Lake ditch or nothing?
No. And they didn't want the rocks over there, so they got dumped in there too.
That's fine.
But, yeah, Thamer's had, as you go over the steep hill, they must have been piling boulders along that shoulder for a long time. And I have to mow them, it's all grapevines on, so we just took them all. I talked to Dean, he said, yeah, get rid of them. So they're in their pile up there.
I looked at that road, wasn't it the, out of Centuria where you were concerned about Wendell's Road, I call it? Where the water possibly could be an issue, I think we just let it develop, huh? I mean, that's my conclusion,
Good conclusion.
so. They shouldn't have built there, I don't know.
Any other questions for Steve? Alright, thank you.
Can I ask?
Sure.
I need to do a nightly inspection of the signs,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't know.
How old are you?
Don't be asking me that again.
Go ahead,
They
sorry.
need an old person to do it.
I need somebody that is up in age, that wouldn't mind.
Okay,
going
that
around at
didn't
night.
help, Steve.
Well, you gotta have, they say an age on the thing for that, but I'm not gonna say that. But anyway, just somebody other than me that would be willing to ride with, and they could pick out and say, yeah, that sign, just write it down, I'll replace them with the next year.
I'll do it, just let me do it. I've done it before with, Joe. Yeah,
I know there's a few of them out there, I know stuff going up the highway the other day, some of the street signs are really getting faded.
I was old then too. Joe was here.
2 years ago. So, preferably if we could pick a night that's above freezing, the frost really changes the way the reflectivity is on the signs. So in the evening would be the best time, not anymore.
Okay,
Or night that it's warm.
okay. I'll look and see what,
I'm flexible for
okay.
that. That's all.
Alright, thanks. Clerk's report, we have a resolution for the first thing.
Yep, budget amendment. So I got a bill, I thought all the bills were in, but a culvert, but I got a bill from the county I had, forgotten about for the equipment rental for the chip sealing. I had calculated all the material, but not the county's portion, so. If you looked on, you could see where it put us on the highway budget, if you look on page 12. It's the big bold box, the bottom line, it put us $2,609.93 in the hole for the rest of the year.
Okay, is there, so this amendment's for 30,000?
Yep,
Okay.
which was about what that check was, 31.
Maybe I'm looking at the wrong line on this.
I am
So
too,
we're
cause
$2,600 in the hole.
Yep, so on page 12,
page
halfway down.
13, page 13.
Oh, is it 13? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, alright,
Oh, no,
13.
no. Well, 13 will show it to you too, cause that's just the highway
yeah.
line, but the highway line is in this bold square on. So either way, if you look at the regular budget, the highway
Yeah.
is just one line on here.
Okay,
This is all the items broken out. in the
oh, I
highway
see
line.
that, yeah, the double
This
one,
is a
total public safety.
subcategory to that one.
Yep, got it. Well, in the big scheme of things, that puts us 1% over there, that's not a big deal.
No, but we need money in there
And the pay, yeah,
for a
pay
pay
for it.
period, and, I mean, there's not a lot now
Yeah.
to the end of the year, but. And now
On page
utilities.
10, we're missing,
That's what I thought.
we're missing 10.
It's on the front side of 10, is this,
It's on 12, page 12 and page 13, it's listed in two different.
Oh, so one of the pages didn't copy when you ran it through?
I thought this was page 10.
Right here, yeah.
You seriously not, it's not there?
Oh, no, I don't even
So,
have you.
so 9 is, 10 is blank, 11, oh. Oh, you guys didn't get your copies back to back.
There we go.
Oh,
Ah,
got it.
Quality of the operator.
you gotta do two.
So you only got one side.
That's why we're hitting and missing.
Do you want me to
What? No,
quickly
no,
go
we're
through?
good.
Are you sure? I can go make a,
No, cause I actually saw it here.
Yeah, you can see it on page, on this.
Alright, back on track.
Yep.
Is that a
Alright, you
motion?
need a motion?
Yes.
here,
Alright, is there a
this is,
second?
why did you
I
share?
will second it.
Who was
Alright.
the first, I'm sorry,
Sharon.
Sharon,
I was.
and then,
I copied Jeremy, so if Jeremy didn't have fronts and backs,
Roll call.
then none of these did.
okay, Katie.
Aye.
Will,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Mike.
Alright,
We'll try and get more coming later.
on to vouchers.
And again, as you can see, we're kind of winding down to the end of the year, so it's not many. I went to order my paper folder and I went to the actual website to the brand I wanted, and they were all on sale, so I got them cheaper than what I gave you prices for last week. Frugal Janet. But I don't know if you have any questions on any of them.
You gonna approve them, Will?
What's that?
Sure, I'll approve 'em. Vouchers 249 through 269.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Alrighty, Will,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
And budget analysis.
Any questions? State shared revenue will come in November.
What else in November?
The remaining payment for the state shared revenue of 12,000, that's always, we get a small portion of it in July and then the rest comes in November.
Okay.
And everything else is pretty much just.
Any other questions? Alright. Move on to the zoning permits and logs. Any questions on this one?
Okay, I did kind of tweak it after
Oh,
last
yeah,
meeting,
very
so the first 2 pages are pretty much just the information, and I went all the way back to the beginning of the year with the to fill in.
Thank you.
I didn't go previous years, but,
No, that's good.
and then so the first 2 pages are just the people, the parcel, the address, the project, and the dollar amounts, and then the next, 18 and 19 I kept some of the columns, so you could follow the people, the project, but then the inspections. So first one is who they were issued to, what they're for, the estimated cost, all that stuff. Is this okay, or?
I like this better.
Yeah.
Okay, it just makes it 2 reports, but if you're okay with that. I tried, I played around with it, and I thought this was the best way to capture it, but if you have
Yeah, no,
any
I think this
alterations.
gives us a better idea where it's at and what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Mhm.
Sharon, do you know the house at 1314 Deer Lake Park? Do you know that place?
I know Deer Lake Park, but I don't know that particular house off the top of my head.
Just trying to think. Just from experience, like we're not getting finals, and I don't see any finals on here. I see one final, yes. So I guess it's just something to keep note of when houses are being built. We're really not getting finals.
Previous years I take them off.
Okay.
For this year I highlight it and keep it on.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, I send him this report and ask him, did I miss, cause he sends me all the reports, but I don't think I mean, so then I ask him, which ones have had finals, which
Okay.
ones, so then he lets me know, and then I take them off. Well, you guys will see it in January, but, and then a bunch drop off, but there are a bunch that just, he hasn't. But I do follow up with him, I work with him, and I don't take them off until he tells me to.
Okay.
And then for the current year, I don't take them off, but yeah,
Right,
there's only
yeah.
one this year so far that's got a final,
Right.
so.
Remind me before we leave tonight, I wanna get his contact information
Okay.
for another question that doesn't have anything to
Yep.
do with this, but.
No.
Anybody have any supervisors reports?
No, I'm good.
I can tell you from the county, we met last night and we, have the budget, the budget was, a lot of the things were finalized last night in the budget. And it's looking good. It's gonna be pretty flat this year. You weren't gonna see, any big changes as far as, don't expect a tax increase because of the county, cause it's not happening.
Good.
They were really careful with their budgeting, so that was good. And the government center project is moving along according to schedule. They don't have any heat in that building right now because, they have temporary heaters that they're using. Because they're always waiting for parts, whether it's a door or whatever. So they've had some delays for some of that kind of stuff, but other than that, most of the groups are getting moved back into their areas now, so that's a good thing. But, it'll be 2023 before all that's done, because they won't get some of the coolers and stuff like that until after the first of the year, or by spring.
Weren't they doing something with the recycling center?
What?
Weren't they doing something with the recycling center on 208?
Yep, they had approved already, 1.6 million, I think it was, for the recycling center. Last night, they approved another 1.5 million, cause the bids came in close to 4 million, 3.5 million or something.
Yeah.
What?
They have to update, it's the equipment,
It's
correct?
the
It's all the
equipment.
equipment.
Yeah, it's the equipment, and making it safer, and hopefully getting a new sign in. I brought you up at the meeting last night.
Thanks. When do they plan on starting that?
Well, Mo's been working with contractors, getting bids and stuff on everything, and determining which equipment they wanted it, how they were gonna lay it out, cause it might need some changes to the building and stuff too. So I don't think they'll
Probably not
start
till
until spring. But, they've done a lot of work and completed a lot of work on parks and trails. I mean, a lot of work was put in this year for parks and trails. They're going to finalize the design for I think they call it Extreme AV Park up in Sterling. I think it's up in Sterling, that they're building, that will eventually be all fenced in and whatever, but, so they've done a lot of work. D.D. Kennedy, they're building a whole new restroom. They've got new playground equipment there, and done some work with the parking, and the road going over the dam. That's the next thing they're working on.
Half of 8?
No,
No,
over at
Oh.
D.D. Kennedy,
Kennedy.
at D.D. Kennedy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, actually, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's very nice back there. Somebody one woman, when the road was closed there, tried to drive her car across there, the walking bridge.
But that's always gonna stay a walking bridge, right? They're not gonna, okay.
No, it's always gonna stay a walking bridge, yeah. Tried to drive her car across there, that didn't work out so well. But, so they're they're working with the town of St. Croix Falls down by the information center and the city
City.
offices. They're working with the city, they're building a 24/7 bathroom building and repair station for bicycles. And, I don't know when they're gonna start work on that, cause the city's actually doing it, the county's just, giving them money to help build it and stuff for that trail, for getting on the Gandy. That's about it.
Alright, do you wanna bring up your traffic counter now or
Sure.
later on?
Do we have another road maintenance thing or no? Okay, so I did put out the traffic counter and it finally worked. Did it for about 2 weeks on 210th Street, just north of my place. Cause that was one of the roads that we were talking about maybe doing next year.
Mm-hmm.
Over the 2 week period, there's 575 cars, a max speed of 84 miles an hour. Let's see, it kinda gives
So
us.
575, is that over the 2-week period?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
It kind of goes by the day of the week, gives you what percentage of vehicles are over the speed limit. It ranges anywhere from 20 to 32%. 32% of the vehicles are over the speed.
I'm actually surprised it's
On
not more.
average, they are all over speed.
I was gonna say, I'm surprised it's not more.
Yeah. The average speeder is 52 miles an hour,
Wow,
so 7 over. But I guess this is just the start. It's on 160th now.
No, it's good information, I'm glad it's working, and,
Yeah.
We can kinda make a spreadsheet and keep
Yeah.
track of.
You gonna go back and do 125th again too? Okay, good.
But this seems kinda low for 2 weeks. I mean, that ain't excessive, or what, I mean, what do we have to
We don't
compare
really
to?
have anything to compare
That's what I mean,
Right.
so what, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
When
now
we
we're
start
getting,
seeing, and 210th isn't as traveled as 200th, 160th.
I think we get that in a day on 200.
Yeah,
I
and
mean, it'd be
140th.
I mean,
No,
nice
it's
to
weird to
compare
think
to,
that,
something
yeah.
to compare, we need to compare.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see.
So
good.
No, good, this is good.
So in the future, are you gonna do a certain date, how many days, like that was 2
I
weeks?
think 2 weeks is a good
gonna stay with that.
representation.
Yeah, cause you get the weekends and,
Yeah, you get 2 cycles.
and this time of the year, it's gonna be lower than,
Right.
you know, what we normally see.
And if we
anyways.
just keep putting it out there,
Yeah.
every 2 weeks we'd have.
What part
two
of the road
streets
do you
per
have it
month
on?
that
Yeah.
I could report to.
Yeah.
It's on 160th, Avenue.
I mean,
No.
clock somebody at 84 miles an hour, or no, where'd you have it along 210?
Oh,
By the Gandy, or no?
is it a mile that lives? It's or Petzl?
A Petzl?
Mm.
Is it
Oh,
right
yeah,
around
so
here?
Okay,
kinda right in
I
the middle of the
think-
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
By Larry Petzo,
By his
I'm
place, yeah.
guessing you're gonna have more traffic that cuts 150 up to Fairgrounds
Yeah,
than
Yeah.
you do on that stretch too. There's
yeah.
There's
yeah, good
certain
point,
habit,
yeah,
don't you think, Will?
Yeah,
Isn't that
you
like the
get-
way people
Yeah.
funnel into?
Yeah,
You know, people coming out of the 212 development, going over towards Menards.
Yeah.
Depends on where you were. I know we do the work on the road, I think.
well, speaking of that stretch of road, they did a nice job with that culvert there on that 210, I thought. They took care of the dirt in the ditch and all that, that looked pretty nice.
Oh, yes, the driveway.
Driveway,
Yeah,
we've been talking about it the last few months, they did a nice job.
it's definitely not a mound anymore, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
that's good.
That's all I got.
Thank you
Alright,
for doing that.
thank you. On to do business. We haven't heard anything from Quick Trip, so that's kind of a dead issue for right now. You haven't heard anything, have you?
No, but with your permission, I think we can pull this off the agenda. I'll finalize the agreement with Joel. I'll just take the quick trip provision out, and you guys already approved the agenda, or approved the agreement, so if you're good with that, we'll get it in final form for Mike to sign.
Great.
So resolution 2235 will hold off for another month or,
Yeah, if you want, they already approved it last time though. They approved the agreement with Joel last time.
The city did.
oh yeah, the
You guys
city did.
too.
Oh,
I didn't think,
It
hold
got,
on,
it
let
got
me,
approved at the last meeting.
I didn't think it was in the minutes.
They,
Am I?
they voted to approve it, that I could, with the ability for me to make
changes.
minor changes.
so we should be able to vote tonight, or well, we already did, right? So,
You can do it, I mean, if it's not in the minutes, you can do it again, it's fine. The only change we'll make is we'll just take, there's one paragraph.
I don't
related to
think there
quick
was an actual vote, a first, a second.
trip. No, there was.
I'll go back and listen, but
Just
Oh.
vote again, it's okay,
okay.
it's no big deal. You've got it on the agenda, let's do it.
We'll come back to that. Okay, so we're.
Well, and I did that I just did up a resolution approving the agreement as an attachment.
Yeah, same as last time though, I'd like it to,
so you guys.
so
Yes.
I can tweak it.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay, is that a motion?
Who did it? I'm sorry,
I did.
Sharon? Okay.
For a second?
We're communicating.
Is there a second? I gotta
The
ask-
I'll
motion-
second it, I'll second
Now
it.
we can
Okay.
talk about it.
The motion, just for clarification though, was to adopt, the boundary agreement, with legal counsel being able to is that how you want it to read? Okay.
Any more discussion?
And I could be misremembering Janet, you usually remember better than me, so.
No, I can't
thought
believe
they-
I
I thought
missed,
they already approved
We
it.
have any more discussion?
I
no big
can't
deal.
believe I missed it.
I thought we did too, in case
thought I
we had
saw
a
it, but I
special
don't
meeting
see
or
it now.
something.
No biggie.
I'm old, I
Roll call.
don't remember.
Okay, Sharon,
Yes,
Jeremy,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Mike.
Alright, thank you.
And I would say you can take the quick trip thing off the agenda now. unless
Take
there's-
it and just forget it, okay, until they come back to us.
Granted, we
Okay.
approved it because we were gonna have it before this meeting.
Yeah, we're
I
talking
don't
about having a
remember that
special
we did.
meeting.
Right.
Yeah.
And that got,
We never heard back from
we never
anybody.
did that.
Alright, next item is approval of a minor subdivision on 160th. We actually have it up on the map here. Alright, so they wanna split off, was it 3 acres?
3 acres, which is legal minimum.
Yep, right here, you guys have a map.
160th was misnumbered as 345.
Yep,
We fixed that, and then there was a total of 0.4 acres mismathed, and now the math is lined up, so hopefully all the paperwork lines up as well.
What the surveyor did is he did not do to the center of the road, which is the
Oh.
way ours, there's no right of way owned by the town, so it goes to the center of the road. He only went to the road right away. So
okay.
the correct,
So
are
this is
on
the
this
one you
map.
sent.
I did put out the new survey when I got it this
Okay.
week, and then the resolution has the correct 3.23 instead of 3, and 13.56 acres.
Alright. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah, what was the correct lot, 1 and lot 2 acres?
Okay, so the lot 1 is 13.56.
Yep, and lot 2 is the
3.23.
Got it.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision.
Resolution 2236, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call please.
Katie?
Yes.
Will?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Sharon?
Yes.
Mike?
Alright, happy section.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next item is, consider and possible approval of additional mobile storage containers at 2174 Highway 8. I believe these were there before, and this is just to make things clean.
Yep, I had sent out a letter, so he applied for both his businesses. He's got 2 businesses, but the one was just one. And this is the one that's at, the stoplights. And so everything's,
So they've already been there,
They've been there, he's just paying
yeah,
for it.
and you
Yeah.
really just don't see most of them because they're behind.
they
the
look like a
curve.
building because
Yeah.
he's got them so nicely
Yeah.
stacked and,
Well, anything more than one we have to approve, right?
huh?
Anything
Yeah.
more than one.
More
we
than
have
one has to
approve,
come
so-
to the board is
Yeah.
basically,
I make a motion we approve, whatever that,
Resolution 2237.
correct.
I'll second your motion.
Alright, roll call please.
Will,
Yeah.
Sharon,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Mike.
Alright, item E, review proposed zoning ordinance amendments, first reading, to amend the agricultural district special exception racetrack to include and similar uses. Proposals on pages 45 and 46.
Just 45.
Just 45.
So,
Yeah.
By approving this, we're not approving any resolutions, we're just approving other uses in the ag district, correct?
No. This.
you want me to go or you?
Go.
Okay, that's fine. This came up at the plan commission as a result of the, kind of the discussion related to the proposal that was discussed in public comment. And the issue here is they, under the current ordinance, could not even apply because of their use doesn't fit with what the ordinance says. So there's a number of ways that you can deal with that. You could either, and in this case, you can't rezone the property because this is the only place in the town where this kind of use is permitted, so you couldn't rezone the property. So you could just say, too bad, so sad, we're not going to do that. we don't want that use and make no change to the ordinance. Or you could make a specific change and add go-karts, is that what it is?
Yes.
Add go-kart racing to it, and so that would be a special exception use on its own, go-kart racing. Or you could do something like this, which would allow you guys some flexibility, so in case, you know, in this instance, it wasn't just
Say somebody came and wanted to do horse racing there.
Exactly, you could have a little flexibility so you aren't constantly
Changing.
changing your ordinance. So what this would do is change it to allow for additional uses other than just racetrack as a special exception. So they would still have to come back. It would only be for this parcel. Remember, we had that because it had to be on that parcel, so we amended the provision that was just related to that one parcel that had a historic racetrack on it. And it would still be subject to the racetrack ordinance. And so we're kind of doing step one, which would be to allow you to consider an application for a special exception. If you pass this, and by the way, we can't just finish it tonight, you have to have a public hearing to amend the zoning ordinance, and so it's a little bit of a process, and that's why maybe you want to consider or similar uses, so you don't have to go through that long drawn out process every time. Maybe you don't want to consider that, totally up to you. And then once, assuming it would get approved, the ordinance is changed, they can apply, then remember that probably we're gonna have to make some changes to that, racetrack
Regulation.
yeah.
See, I didn't think, so this would, since it's not open to entertainment, the other racetrack ordinance is for entertainment purposes.
It's just-
This is not where
it's-
you'll have spectators.
It's just a matter of how they do the special, how you guys determine to do the special exception. Cause you could add all of the rules and regulations that you want in there, operating hours, lighting, sound, fixing the bleachers, all of those things that you've kind of done before, and make it subject to the racetrack ordinance, or not, or provisions of the racetrack ordinance, or not. So it gives you some flexibility as to how you end up wanting to do this, assuming you wanna do it at all.
It's just, we're not trying to outguess the landowner as to what they might be putting in there.
Correct.
If I could just add something, hopefully won't make things more complicated, but in some cases, the activities that we do would be considered leisure/entertainment. I'm not sure if that makes it more complex or less, but it's not sanctioned competition go-kart racing, it's more leisure go-karting. It's open to the public for families and corporate groups.
It's not
So, yeah, so from
like, you
that
can just come
perspective,
and
it's
rent it,
entertainment.
it's not, you have to turn up with like a specialized go-kart. We
Got it,
provide the.
And we can go through all that when
Yeah.
you guys
Just when
apply.
We're getting into the
Spot
weeds, I
entertainment.
Yep, no, so this is just giving, if this goes through, this is just giving permission to apply.
And the word or similar works, it's not and or, like just adding or similar uses is fine. I noticed when you said it, you said and similar uses, but or fixes it.
We could do it, there's a million ways to skin this cat, this is one of them, similar uses, or you could list a whole bunch of different uses that you would be okay with, horse racing, bike racing, go-kart racing. However you wanna do it, this was just an idea
Yeah, no, this,
for you guys to think about.
I like that we can do this one time, they still have to do the special exception, so it doesn't mean things can or cannot, but then not having to do the public hearing every time if something else came up 2 years from now, 3 years from now.
And to be clear, you'd still have the public hearing, but on the special exception application.
Not on
Right.
amendments.
Correct.
And the 2-month long
Yeah.
process.
Yep.
Is there a motion?
I will make a motion to add or similar uses to zoning ordinance number 1, chapter 3, section C, to agricultural district.
Actually, this
You
was
just
just a
need the
first reading.
first reading, so next,
Perfect.
Oh.
so,
I will not do that right now.
so at the November 9th, I think it is, Plan Commission, there will be a public hearing. And then at our November board meeting, there'll be the second reading and approval. And then I'll send it to the
Okay.
county, hopefully I'll get it on the agenda before the end of the year. I mean, whenever they're not,
Yeah.
kinda try to push it. You'll have 2 more meetings, right? They don't, it's that
Yeah,
in
November,
March or
December.
February that they take their hiatus? That
They
skip one?
don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's good, I just know that that causes a delay.
Yeah.
Alright, so all we have to do is say the first reading was had, right?
Yep, yep.
Well, and maybe what I'd like to see is there anybody that here that has a significant problem with that? Cause I hate for us to go through this
And then it comes
exercise.
back and then they,
So it generally are,
I think it streamlines everything.
Okay.
Cause we still have control.
Right.
I mean, we're just the initial.
yeah, just so Janet and I know we're gonna try to do it.
Yes, no, appreciate the clarification. Alright, first step down. Item F, consider additional amendments to the town zoning ordinance for, special exceptions in the agricultural district, automotive maintenance and mechanical repair facility, and
there is
Again,
no
this-
language.
I think we can,
this got a little complicated at the planning commission, so.
I think we can skip this, if you guys are okay with it. We had this on the agenda because that's how it was on the plan commission agenda. But I think I'm comfortable having now reviewed the home occupation language and who owns the two parcels, that they could, so long as they apply for the home occupation special exception through the people who own the property, which is your parents, somebody's parents, I think, that they could have, you guys have a home occupation special exception there without making a change to the ordinance. So if you guys are comfortable proceeding that way, we can just skip this, they can make an application and you can move forward that way and save them some time.
Our initial, reason for coming here was to have a automotive maintenance and repair facility.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what does that have to do with?
So it's saying that the property owner can apply for that now without us changing anything.
And we
So,
think the
the
ordinance,
last-
go ahead.
The last time we were here, we were talking about changing it from agricultural to
Correct.
transitional.
And then he looked into it further and found that we can do it under the ordinances we already have or how it's zoned right now.
It just has to be rezoned to transitional.
No. Oh, you want to?
Well,
The major home occupation section says a major home occupation can be in the transitional and agricultural district. It lists both of them in the major home occupation.
oh yeah, yes it does, you're correct, cause it didn't list it in the ag section, but it listed it in the,
It listed,
yes.
and it does say it's a special exception, so
let's
the
put
way,
that on the
yeah, I
agenda
know,
to
we need
fix
to
that.
amend that.
So this actually
Yes.
has never gone to the.
You're good.
No,
Just
you're
apply.
good, we got it.
You're good, apply for the home occupation special exception, and
You,
that's it.
but your parents have to.
This is going to save you 3 months' time.
Oh, thank you.
But your parents will be the ones that are, because they live there, you don't, right? There's no
Not-
home on
no.
that second parcel,
No.
right?
Right.
But they do live on the 5 acres next to it?
Yes,
Yeah.
And if and when you build a home on that parcel,
yes.
then
You can
that special
transfer.
exception, you would come back and it'd get transferred to you.
But you have to go through the process again.
Okay, so where do we start with that? Do we get the application through you?
Yeah, it is online as well, but you can give
My
me a call
parents are
tomorrow.
dinosaurs, they mess with computers.
Okay, well, I mean, if you know, but yeah, yep.
It's in summary.
Let me rephrase that, they're old school, they're not
I
dinosaurs.
know.
No, I get it.
You work
Oh,
tomorrow.
good.
Yeah,
That's
I'm in
fine.
the office if you wanna pick it up.
Maybe you guys
I
just wanna call
Yes.
Janet
Okay.
tomorrow and she'll walk you through.
I will call you tomorrow.
okay,
I appreciate it, thank
Yep.
you.
Alright, thank you for, running around here a little bit, but,
That's okay.
it's alright, simplifies it in the long run, so.
Sweet.
Alright, thanks.
Janet, on the agenda, for next, because we had that first reading on the one before this. It
yes.
says and similar uses.
Thanks,
but we're
everybody.
adding
Appreciate
or
you,
similar
everybody.
uses.
Yep, thanks.
Oh.
Does that matter that those don't match?
No, you have had the first reading on or, and
Okay, so
it'll be
it doesn't-
corrected, but
okay.
thank you.
So, okay.
You wanna throw that on the plan commission agenda, just to add that to the, so it's in the ag, it's listed as a special exception in the.
Yes,
section.
yes, yep,
I forgot that you and I walked through that.
yeah, so we're covered, cause it goes over how it is, but we need to tie the two together.
Alright, next item is, possibly to consider zoning ordinances for, zoning regulations for solar farms, and add them through a big packet in front of us.
So what you guys had asked me to do last week was just kind of to give you some information about what you possibly could do if you wanted to do anything related to to solar, so I pulled the statute, that's the first tab here for you. You might remember that there's a limited amount of regulation that can be done by local governments because it's kind of been preempted by the state. But there is a provision that allows for local governments to have some regulatory authority so long as it's for a number of things, but the most important one is for public health and welfare. I think that's what it reads. Public health or safety, sorry. And so what the next tabs are what some other communities in Wisconsin have done, and then also, I think I had one or two in here from, how other states had addressed it, not because you guys necessarily need to address it the same way or want to address it the same way, but just to show that even in other states, they're kind of, to the extent they're imposing regulations, they're kind of doing it related to similar things, so they're looking at buffers, decommissioning, lighting, operating hours, those sort of things that you would tie to public health and safety. Some of these towns you'll see are actually what are called licensing ordinances, and you guys have maybe heard that term when probably related to during the frac sand thing. A lot of towns that didn't have their own zoning would pass a licensing ordinance. You guys didn't do that. Instead, when the frac sand thing was big, you amended your zoning ordinance to add a provision related to that. You have kind of a similar thing with the adult entertainment ordinance. It's very similar to an overlay. So the way that you guys, if you were going to do this instead of a licensing ordinance, you just add essentially an overlay district for solar. You define what districts that you think it would, be acceptable in, and I assume that's ag probably would be the only district that it would maybe work in. I don't know, I don't think there's big enough parcels probably in other districts. Maybe transitional, Janet? Probably. I don't know. I mean, we could work through that, but it seems to me that likely the ag district is the most likely that you're gonna potentially do this. And then what the regulations would look like and the application process would look like. And these ordinances kind of lay out a wide array of things that you can sort of look at and consider in that process. So if you want to go forward with it, I would just kind of need to know, yes, I want to go forward with it, and Janet and I and Ben would do some drafting and get you kind of a proposal that would lay some of these things out, if you have interest in adding some of this regulation to your zoning ordinance.
You guys have any feedback for Adam?
Well, I think it's a good idea. I think we should look into it and make sure we've got something covering us in this.
Like right now, we basically have no say in it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Is a good place to start the planning commission? We'll let them hash it out and bring it to us.
Sure. The interesting thing is, it'd be an interesting deal if it was applied for, because right now, it's not listed as either
A use.
At all. And so in theory, you would say, no, sorry, it's not listed. I think that would be subject to challenge, and probably you would lose because of the way that the state law is written. You're gonna have to be more narrow than just saying, oh, sorry, no, can't do it anywhere, which is kind of the way your ordinance is set up now. So by doing something, I think you're, making it more legally palatable probably than just saying no anywhere in the town.
Did you make these copies? Can we get this exact same thing for the plan commission? Like, I wanna look through this and I'll we'll star what we like and what makes sense, but
Okay,
if we could get copies for them too,
Sure
because
thing.
this
so
is,
you want the plan commission, you don't wanna, the board doesn't wanna give any guidance or anything to the plan commission? You want the plan commission to work on this free range?
My
Do you know where?
My understanding was that you were gonna kinda glean the good points off this and make like a proposal for the plan commission.
Okay,
And then the plan commission can go through that versus sorting through this whole packet.
however you want me to do it, I'll
That's
do.
what I would prefer. I mean, that simplifies it for discussion
so
purposes.
keep the good points that make sense and
Exactly.
I like the simplicity of like appendix D. It seems a good
D?
starting place.
Like D, which one's D?
Number
3.
3. Tab 3.
Okay.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course,
Some
you
of
chose one in a different state. I understand what you're saying.
I mean, some of them get pretty long, I guess.
I'm trying to think what, like, we have at the county level too.
Probably nothing.
I don't think they have anything from what I've gathered talking to one of the zoning people. It wasn't Jason, it was somebody else.
I'll follow up on that. I'll just check and let you know. I'll let Janet know she can let you know.
I mean, does that make sense to you guys? Or you
I think it
guys
gives us more input.
or do you wanna sort through, no, I agree that just doing something,
Three
but,
of us, cause you don't wanna get too big into it,
but are you okay with that if we have him narrow it down to a,
Onto what makes sense and then
Swallow
go
them
from
all.
there,
Yeah, I think that's good.
okay. Thank you, Adam.
Yeah.
some of the things I would wonder is like how they feel, like size limits. And then like zoning, which zones they would feel is appropriate.
I
That's where I
would,
think probably right
look at
ag is about the only
reclamation of the
one.
land too, you know?
What's that?
Reclamation of the land after the useful life is done.
Yeah, there's some decommissioning language in a number of these. That probably makes some sense. Okay.
It's called decommissioning in this case, or?
I think that's the way that it's termed.
Okay.
Reclamation is,
It's
Either way.
For gravel
decommissioning.
pit, I know,
Yeah.
everything's
Either
gotta
way.
have its own.
okay, I will put that together for the next plan commission meeting. Janet, when I was walking through this, I think one of the things we should add, and we can do it all together at once, is I think it would make sense, since we're doing this way, to roll those three together, the solar, frac sand, and adult entertainment.
Okay,
So that we just create a new provision called overlay districts, and then overlay them and decide which districts we want them to be in.
okay.
Because right now, they're just kind of hanging out there.
Well, I know that the one is not many places.
Yeah.
So maybe, is that what we want all these to? Okay.
Well, that one's just limited by where it can be in the commercial district. You're talking about the adult
Yeah.
entertainment, yeah.
Yeah,
But I think it would make
Okay.
it easier to
kind of
go
critique
through
our,
the process if you
yes.
got an application.
okay.
Would there be any other one other than those three? Those that cover what needs to be for the overlay?
Not that I noticed.
Okay.
I mean, and you guys can add whatever you want, but those are we've got two and you've asked me to look at this
Okay,
one as well.
perfect.
Any other discussion?
Fantastic.
Alright. Next item is approve resolution to propose exceeding the allowable tax levy, resolution 2238, page 47. That's all I have is odd pages.
So can we discuss,
47, oh, go ahead.
can we,
I think there was another line down further for discussion on this, wasn't there?
Well, this is the procedure if you want to move forward with this, but then you're also gonna look at your brochure and approve your brochure.
Yeah, which is down lower, yeah.
I don't care if you wanna move them around,
move-
if you wanna discuss the brochure before the,
no, I wanna discuss this first,
okay,
because I've been thinking about it.
okay.
I have a question, is there a typo in the fourth paragraph?
Tell me
Just
where,
the actual levy limit is 505,992, and the law would have increased the limit to 5,176. Am I reading that wrong?
okay, if you read it, the 2021 payable 2022 adjustable actual levy is 505,992, that's last year.
Yeah.
And further, whereas the state law would limit your increase, the state law says you can increase your allowable levy, the previous one, by net new construction. So under that law, you would be able to increase it this year by 5,176.30 for an allowable town levy before adjustments for 2022 to be collected in 2023 of 509,429. You need last year's levy to figure out what this dollar amount is,
Yeah.
to figure out what your allowable levy is for this year.
Don't you
But
just
we're
add
way
those?
under it anyway, right? So it's,
No, we're at.
No,
No, we're at it.
509.
sorry, we're at
So-
But don't you? So wouldn't you add
this is language
She
that
did.
they draft, and it does make sense. You're taking last year's levy,
Yeah, but don't you just add those two numbers?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
That's what she did.
So wouldn't it be 510,000?
No, put you got your decimal and comma in the wrong spot. Put that underneath, it adds a 509.
No, it would be 510.
It is
Well-
510.
here's the thing,
It would be
let me
511.
get you the actual allowable,
I'm gonna do it by
It's 510 something.
I mean, we're splitting hairs here. We don't
No.
have enough money for what we
So-
wanna do. But
so this number, they tell me exactly where to pull these numbers from this report, which is given to me by the DOR. So your 2021, 2022
It should be
actual
511.
levy was 505,992.
Correct.
And then your increase.
shouldn't
where is
read
it?
increase by 5,000.
It should be 511, 168
Yep, it should be,
and 30 cents.
instead of 509.
Right, but then you have to take out $1,739.32 that they pay us for personal property.
Oh, we didn't say.
I didn't
that.
see that part.
They don't write it in that, but
Okay.
that's the way, I mean, literally, when I get this resolution from the state, they tell me which columns to
Oh,
take
this
the
just
numbers
tells
from
me
here.
Jeremy was reading it, nice job.
Yes, good job.
That doesn't really cost for much inflation there. Alright,
So we're all right.
You are.
So are we still all okay with the 200,000? I mean,
Speak
what
your
are you
mind.
thinking? Well, I mean, it's nice to think that, yeah, we could do more roads, but given the state of things, are people gonna say, would I rather have bumpy roads or would I rather be able to buy food? You know, I don't know, I'm
It's
just saying,
understandable.
I'm just saying,
So you wanna ask for money but not as much? Is that
maybe,
what you're saying?
yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just, I wanna have a discussion on it.
No, my
Well,
whole
and
thing is just that we have to have a plan to
Yes.
maintain our roads.
I get that.
Okay, and whether that's, we have to try and have a plan that keeps up.
Yep.
Okay, and that's how we got on this
Yep.
track. Whether that, if we think times are tough and we choose to amend the amount, we can certainly do that,
Yeah,
but, it's all, out predicting the economy,
yeah, I know.
so
I think
that's-
times are gonna be tough no matter when. There's never a good time to ask for more money.
I don't think we're ever gonna be flush with cash just by the nature of the
Beast.
town board.
Yeah.
But the brochure I think will help a lot, and people are going to be more willing to say, okay, I understand this. But to Sharon's point, maybe if we ask for 200, they say, no, we're done till next year. If we ask for less, are they
No.
more apt to?
If you ask for the 200,000 increase, they say no, you're gonna have to have the board come back and present them another figure, whether
Right.
it be what we're allowed. And
But is
then
that
that's gonna have to go
next
to
year?
another, no, it gets
We-
done this year, they have to approve the levy. But what the statute, what they won't allow us anymore, which that was what Anna
Right,
checked,
it's just to make
is
it
they won't
economic.
allow us to do it that night.
Hmm.
So then, you present this resolution, what you passed tonight, you present it at the we'll have the budget hearing, you present it at the special meeting, they vote it down, then you're gonna have to pass another resolution for a levy,
Mhm.
and then call another special town meeting. That has to get done before we can do the tax bills.
Do we have time to do that if they
Well,
vote it
ours
down?
will just
We'll
be
have to
going out
make-
late.
Yeah.
It'll just,
Okay.
instead of right before Christmas, they might go out the beginning of January, the end of,
Sure.
it's
Okay.
all in timing.
So I was sitting thinking kinda like you, I'm not saying, I was thinking, what if we didn't just sit back for a year? Why do we have to do it now? Get our new truck here, get all this stuff and then ask, I don't know. I don't think we should lower our dollar amount because I think we're gonna find ourselves right back in the same boat again.
Yeah,
If we ask for 100, another year we're gonna ask for
After
another.
another 100, yeah.
I just, cause we,
Yep, makes sense.
this brochure is very spot on, cause we can't do a mile of road, we're not gonna keep up. I mean, we ask for 500,000, we're gonna struggle to keep up. I mean, and quite honestly, to get to where
Yeah.
we wanna be.
I'm just looking at it, what's the town's responsibility? Provide roads and emergency services.
Right.
You know, I mean, if we don't have a plan to maintain that, you know, what are we doing?
No, I
So that-
agree.
I mean, I'm not,
How many we've got, what, was it 42 miles
Just
of
under
road?
42.
42 miles of road.
84.
And at the 200,000, it'd still take us 20 years to do each road.
Well, with the 200, we technically have 300 then, right? Our first 100, now we're,
yeah,
so I mean,
Well, but
That's-
you can't do a mile of road for 100,000.
no, but I'm just saying, we
It's
definitely,
200,000.
whatever money we
Okay.
levied last time and this time
Yeah,
is strictly going to the roads.
absolutely.
yes,
So I mean,
yeah, it has.
I mean, I completely
Goes a little-
understand and agree with what you're saying, that, you know what, yeah, everything's
I just wanna
expensive.
make sure everybody's okay with it, you know, that we've all thought about it and we're okay with it, cause it's a big deal.
Mhm.
it's sometimes hard because we don't have people complaining about too much money yet, but how far do we go till we have really bad roads and then,
Well, you gotta find a balance at some point, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, and
Well, when was was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
2019.
Is when we got,
So it
we
was,
but we
increased it,
collected 1 year of that.
yes.
so yes, it was 2019 payable 2020, so the
Yeah.
2020 budget. So we've done 2 years with that, 2 budget cycles,
Okay,
2020 and 2021.
well, what do you guys think? I don't, you know,
I'm in the same boat you're in. Like, we just put all this money into equipment. I think waiting 1 more year is probably the better thing. I think it's needed, but I don't.
I'm
think-
not debating that, it's definitely needed.
I just don't think the increase this year is a good time for it.
Okay.
does it make sense to still have this available to everyone? And say, hey, just heads up for next year, or
Or we can do it next year and we can send it out earlier, and, I mean, that's
Give
your,
more time
that's
for
whatever
them to
you,
come up.
you as a board wanna do. You can mail them out this year. I think it's better before, we can
We
present
can't
it
have
at
them
the
here when
annual
people
meeting.
come vote and grab something, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we
if
can,
we
right?
decide not to ask.
I mean, I kinda
For
think
this
that it's our job to come up with a plan to maintain things,
yep, it is.
and it's the public's decision whether they go along with it or not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's kinda my feeling, you know, I mean, if we don't have a plan and we let the roads go 5 years, you know, without repaving anything and things get bad, you know,
Yeah.
they're gonna come back and go, I can't believe you guys didn't have a plan to repair the roads,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
you're right.
so.
And every year it gets more expensive.
Exactly.
And every year is more traffic,
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I say, it's endless, it's inevitable.
You're never gonna get, you know, truly ahead of it, being and maintain.
Maintain it. Well, the quality of roads are getting better too, the life expectancy, I think, you don't think?
Life expectancy, no, the quality is. We're getting the flatter surface, they're wider, I mean, we're getting our shoulders, but we should, but pavement, if you go back to 25 years ago, pavement lasted minimum 25 years. Right now, I believe it's a 10 minimum. So that's almost half the life, and that's because of the oils they're putting in. It's
But I
nothing to do
believe
with-
that we're doing the right thing by pulverizing and paving
Oh, yes.
versus just,
Definitely.
Yeah.
you know, it's cheaper to just overlay it, but you're burying your problems underneath that
yeah,
overlay.
exactly.
Yeah, that just reflection cracks right back up there.
I mean, it's what we all wanna do. I mean, I'm not like dead set against doing nothing. And I'm not dead set against doing this.
Mm-hmm,
I just wanted to have more dialogue about it, just to,
yeah, no, that's great.
Is it worth putting a smaller dollar amount to it? Or is
I
it
don't-
better to wait and do the whole thing at once?
I mean, if we're gonna, we could do the 200,000 and see what happens, and if it doesn't pass this year, well, then we have to, if it doesn't pass, then we have to go
Well,
through
yeah,
the whole
you're-
process again.
Right,
Well,
you're just gonna have
We
to,
wouldn't, okay, so if we said we did the 200,000, we put it to the voters and it doesn't pass, there's nothing saying that we have to come back at them with another number this year.
It just doesn't pass.
We can
Because you'll
just
need more
continue on
next
with
year
what we
anyway.
you
have.
still have to bring it back to them to approve. You
Yeah,
can
but I
leave
mean,
it to
but
this
it-
number, to the 509, which is what we're allowed by statute.
Yeah, but I mean, we basically, so if we did nothing with this now, we're gonna come to the voters with that dollar amount.
Yeah,
We're gonna have to pass another resolution with that 509.
How? I mean,
You're gonna have to amend this to call for a special meeting. You guys have to set what you want to ask them to approve.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, so if we set this and they turn it down,
Yep,
It can be done.
then it can be
No.
done, can it?
No,
no,
the
No.
voters have to set your levy.
yeah, so then you have to
Okay,
have
but if-
another town board meeting.
So naturally,
Even if
how,
it was
how much
zero?
would the levy increase naturally?
It would be 509, 429.
Okay, so if we propose this, it would be $200,000 more than that, correct?
yes.
Yeah,
709.
Yeah.
So if they turn this down, then we go back to the 509. Right?
right, but
And
you
then-
still have to call another
And
town
that's what
meeting.
you're
and-
saying, we can't do it at that,
No,
Meeting.
okay.
no.
We still have to go through this whole process.
And you
again.
can't have that special town meeting until 15 days after you, you have to you have to adopt another resolution to this dollar amount, and then you have to wait for the publication, the 15-day notice. And then you have your special town meeting.
So they're
And
gonna get
present that
presented the
resolution.
509 no matter what.
They're no, you guys are dictating what's presented.
If we decide not to raise it
If we
though,
decide not to
Not
raise,
raise-
if we
yeah.
decide
We'd
not to raise the
present-
levy,
509.
Yeah, this is what then you're gonna,
that's what we would be presenting the public.
Yeah.
Okay. All we're voting,
What happens if that gets denied?
Yeah.
well,
Well, they
It can't.
That can't.
No, it can.
they
can.
can.
No, it can.
Then what happens?
This is the last vestige of direct democracy in the whole state. The voters set your levy. They could come back and say, no, we're not
They
approving
could
that.
say, yeah, and they could say, no, we wanna see our taxes go down, we only want you taken.
Oh.
But,
They did
but
that in the
it's a
town of
fight-
Osceola a couple years ago. They knocked their levy down by $200,000.
Well,
That's a scary thing.
well, I
I
mean,
guess for me, the biggest thing on this, I know we need it and all that, but it's the, what's that called? When people look at, okay, people don't know we ordered a truck over a year ago. Now all of a sudden they're gonna see a new truck on the road. I mean, yeah, we did this a year ago, we had this paid,
Yeah,
Now we just got, now we just asked for 200,000, they got a new truck, that's what I'm kinda, I don't know how to explain it, I hope.
No, I know what you
you don't wanna have the image that we're out.
Yeah, but I mean, but on the
Buying
backside, it's not that way.
No.
We
Yeah.
did this truck a long time ago, we did the snowplow for the little guy, you know what I mean, we did all that.
yeah.
And maybe we shouldn't get caught up of the image thing, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
so even if we don't ask for the 200 this year, we should still probably send this out and say, this is what it is, we're not increasing it by,
I don't know that we would send that out then, because we're not gonna do,
You're asking for that, it'd have to be totally redone.
yeah,
yeah.
gotcha.
because we aren't gonna.
Because
numbers
that's
would be
calling
wrong.
for
Yeah.
their support to increase the levy of 200,000.
Yeah.
Is the whole purpose of that brochure.
Well, there's two ways we can go, do nothing, or we just ask for it, and if it passes, if not, we got 15 days to figure it out. I mean,
Yeah,
On the plus side, we have a new hot box we can use and a new, what was the other thing, Steve?
Spray patch.
Spray
spray
patcher,
patcher.
just saying. That is good news.
Mm-hmm. But it just proves that things are tight and we're
Being
networking with neighboring
resourceful.
Yeah,
resources to, make the most of our dollar.
Well, Will, what do you think?
I think Gus is gonna get his beans off tonight, you hear him?
yeah.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
get the gavel out here. Back on track, buddy.
Are you thinking, like, what is your initial, you're thinking you wanna ask for it or not ask for it this year?
I do wanna ask for it, but I'm just worried about the,
Okay.
That's
Jeremy?
and I agree with Sharon, it's a
Yeah.
pile of money.
Yeah, but it barely pays for a mile of road.
That's
Are you thinking yes
exactly.
or no, or what are you thinking? Just still thinking?
But if I'm worried about what people think, maybe people also saw the county's machine here and the other townships' trucks all hauling together. We are working, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
networking, co-oping,
Yeah,
so I guess it goes both ways, you know, I shouldn't get caught up in.
So can we talk about that right now, is, if we approve this and send out the brochure and it fails, is our backup to just go with, not asking for anything more other
Yeah,
than
cause
the
then we wait a
natural
year and
levy?
ask for 500. I'm just saying, it's gonna catch up to us, if we don't ask now, it's event, we have to ask again, whether it's this year, next, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
If we're gonna
Fueling
keep
going
up with
down.
the roads, I think we have to ask for more money.
Yeah.
When's that good time to ask?
it's never a
That's-
good
yeah,
time
I
to
know.
ask, so, yeah, I don't know.
I'm surprised it was 19, that,
Yeah,
maybe.
2019.
yeah.
So they went up COVID year, that's awesome.
So it's only been 2 years that we've had that additional 100,000.
And before that, I think it was 2011,
Yep.
It was a long time.
yeah. So we really haven't.
But things had also stayed pretty constant
Yeah,
in them years too.
yeah. Yeah, we were able to do a mile of road
Yep.
for under 100,000.
So it will be tight, but can we, if we ask and it gets turned down, can we fit in these meetings?
Oh,
Is everybody
you
gonna be
will.
here?
It just-
Everybody's gonna, we'll
And
make
like she
it work.
says, it'll just get postponed as to when it goes out, if that's the worst
Well,
case.
yeah, that just, yep, we're gonna be on the back end of the tax bills, and tax bills are gonna go out late, I mean, and people just have to accept that, I mean.
Okay.
It's not that they're late, it's just, we've always been one of the first ones, we're always in the beginning of
Mm-hmm.
the county
We're trying
getting.
to stay ahead of the game,
Well, we just try to do it so that we get them and get them
Yeah.
out,
but that's
But
what
it
we're
is what
trying to
it
do
is.
here too.
yeah, yeah. That shouldn't be your deciding what you guys do, is that
No,
stuff.
No,
I
that's
know,
just
I'm just thinking
formality.
I'm just thinking past this, if that's the case.
Is this a resolution? We gotta
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
do
it's
a roll
resolution.
call so Sharon goes first.
It's always right.
Who does go first? This always gets kinda random, so that somebody's.
You're right
always
on though, like, it's our job to do this, but essentially, we're letting the town people decide.
Yeah.
So we're not saying they're going up.
This is
letting
what
them-
this is what we're
we're
recommending
letting
to
them
the
decide.
townspeople.
And here's why,
Correct.
it kinda tells why
Yeah.
in the brochure.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
so I think we're maybe overthinking it that way, like,
Yeah, I think we're overthinking this.
what we can ask and they can decide.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
I wish I had a crystal ball to see what all the other towns are doing. too. Are you making the motion, Will?
As soon as I find the thing, I will.
So it'll go right to the 709, so our numbers are,
Yep.
yes, I'm making a motion for resolution 2238.
Is there a second?
I will second that motion.
Roll call, please.
Jeremy. I do it random, so I don't pick on anybody.
No.
Katie,
Yes.
Sharon,
I'm gonna say yes.
Will,
Yes.
Mike,
Alright,
passed 4-1.
good discussions though.
No, do you want to just click over this then?
Yep.
Or is that next or
Well,
not?
The next one is calling for now the budget hearing, the 2023 budget hearing, and the special town meeting to consider these 3 options. One is to consider adoption of a resolution by the electors to support your levy increase. Then the next one is to approve the levy. And then the third is to approve combining the offices of the town clerk and town treasurer per Wisconsin statute 60-305, that should be a period, not a dash, 305-1A. So if you remember, when we talked about combining the offices,
Mm-hmm.
the statute said that we have to finish out the term of the existing, and Max had just been appointed.
Yeah.
So her appointment is up in April. So this would be now the time to ask the electors to support combining the office.
Okay.
And is this in November that we do this?
Yes.
So November 16th?
That's the other thing, I mean, unless you guys wanna we've always done the budget hearing and the special
Right
town
after.
meeting at 7 PM on the night of our board meeting. So we start our board meeting, we recess at 7 to do this, and then we go back into our board meeting.
November 16th,
It is on November 16th this year.
2022.
Yep, so if you guys are all okay with that date.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that, it says approved resolution, does it need a motion?
Yep, needs a
I'll make a
motion for
motion
this.
to, 7 PM on November 16th, 2022.
So you're adopting resolution
There
2239?
it is, 2239, yep.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
All right, Sharon,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Will,
Yep.
Katie,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
Okay. Now, because everybody's looking at the packet, it's copied, so you can't read the answers instead of in color. I wonder where I have my colored one.
And you're right, Steve, those roads that we've hit, like the roads we had done the last couple that we did, they really do look nice. I mean, they look wider, I don't know if they are, but they look wider because of, they took the,
You
Slope.
flatten them out, you take the crown off.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, they're crown right.
No,
Yeah.
they don't have to because of the,
Over the years, they just
it was
keep
just like
building.
the first
Yeah.
reading, and we're saying that too.
That's why when I plow, I leave snow because my plow touches one spot.
yeah.
It's like 2 inches off. on the
Well,
other.
No, because we don't really care. We're just giving him the option to apply.
Okay, here's the colored version. So do you want me to read what you guys can't read on this first page? Everything's in white, but the first question in the middle section says, when is the last time we had a levy increase and how much was it? Up until 2011, towns could take a 2 to 3% growth rate. Since 2011, towns can only increase levy by net new construction. The last increase approved by electors was in 2019 for an additional 100,000. Okay, then the next question, how much state aid can we expect? That just says see back a brochure. Everything else you guys can read.
Okay.
Now, we were struggling on this first column. I still think it needs something, or does it look okay? Read through it. I just,
Where it starts
this
with the
first
town is
column,
asking.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we kind of, because we took out what was there in 2019.
And we stuck it all in here, you
Yeah.
know, the,
I mean, do we put something on there
Increase the
like,
dollar amount for the maintenance of town roads? I
Where?
suppose it doesn't say.
Oh, you're looking on.
Yeah, I'm just reading the front here.
maybe instead of due to increased costs,
Oh, due to increased costs?
so instead, if we said because of increased cost of road maintenance, the need to pulverize and repave at least 2 miles of road per year is needed to maintain the quality of the town.
Should
to
we
maintain-
put something in there that we have 40, do we talk about 40?
yeah, we do.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
on the
all
next
of that's
page.
on this next page, so this is just a
Yeah.
brief, I mean, I just feel like it's hanging that last paragraph, isn't it, or is it just me?
It doesn't read right.
Yeah,
At all.
something's
Yeah.
yeah.
Due
it's-
to increased cost of road maintenance and the need to pulverize and repave at least 2 miles of road per year to maintain the quality of, but that's, it's not like a.
Oh, yeah, roads.
it-
we- from the
to
other
repave
town.
it.
So, yeah,
Did
there's
we talk
something,
about our plan at all throughout
it's
this?
all in here,
And
it's
that
all in that
second page.
page.
But the sentence doesn't, it's like, it's, you're saying due to this, but then you need to
But I don't
say
think,
some- but
right,
it
I don't
doesn't-
think we want word due, but I still don't think it completes it, or something, fixes it.
Maybe it just can be increased costs of road maintenance and the need to pulverize and repave at least 2 miles of road per year.
We, maybe, okay, and the
Well, we
need,
don't
so
wanna
maybe
say
we
10
don't want
words
that.
and 5 will do either.
No,
I mean, we
no,
don't wanna sit
no.
there.
Increase
You
cost
like
of
to
road
read?
maintenance.
Well, I don't mind reading, but I mean, after you read so much, they're gonna say, what are they asking for?
But the sentence doesn't read right, you're saying.
No, it's
like
just
a
not.
because of this,
Yeah.
but then you don't have
It's
a
not, it just
solution.
doesn't,
It
right,
just-
it's
That
just
sentence,
not,
yeah,
it's just,
Do we need
we can take it out.
this?
just
Because,
take it out.
I mean, or just say increased costs of whatever are explained in that, you'll see it on the other
See,
side.
all of the, yeah,
Yeah.
that's,
You'll
that's
see it on the
what,
other
we
side.
just kinda tried to put something in here, but do we just leave it blank?
Yeah,
Cause this is really where the meat is right here,
Yeah.
this is really
Just,
what,
I wonder if you can take out the green box, even, just have that part of the page blank, cause that's the back cover, isn't
You
it?
know
Yeah.
what, put our address, put the town hall
Well, it'd
photo
be in
and
the
our
middle,
address and our phone number
Jeremy's
on
cell
there.
but we
phone
can,
number.
but we
Yeah.
can, yeah, there we
Just
go.
move that to the
Town
other
board
side.
members, please call.
Oh, yeah,
No,
you
but
could
you
do
put
that,
our website, our phone number and.
yeah,
Oh, just put the town
Yeah.
information?
Yeah, put the town hall picture and the
The-
information.
when the
on it.
meetings
Yes.
are,
yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's what I'll do,
Yeah,
I'll just
so
put,
the middle one, or that one over, so on the
so
very
this
back
one,
is.
so this, what it will
Yes.
be is, this will be the front,
yes,
then this page will be the
that's that
here,
one,
and then this will be
On the back,
information.
Yes,
just our
perfect.
contact information.
Got it.
perfect, perfect.
Are you guys good
I
with
for
that?
sure put my name and number though.
Go ahead.
Just kidding. Yeah, just put our
No problem.
contact information, that'd be nice to have.
Okay,
okay,
thank you, I just knew that I was hung up on that, so sorry, I just,
What website, maybe the town's email? We have just the normal one, clerk at.
yeah, well, we got new emails, I could just put, but do you want me to list everybody's, mine and then everybody
I would
else's,
send
or
them
do
to
you
you and
do?
you send them out to everyone,
Yeah.
cause otherwise.
Okay.
They'll get confused, I think, who to
Yeah.
Yes,
contact.
nope, that's fine.
Alright, are we good on,
And then, yeah, how did, I think the rest was all pretty, but did anybody have any changes or any critiques or any,
of the brochure,
yeah, this
No, I
part, this
thought-
looked good, okay.
I thought that was,
Sorry, guys, I
Okay,
just
good.
you
couldn't,
know
I
you
needed
still
help.
have to hang out, right?
I wasn't sure if there needs to be a motion for our part or not.
No, so it'll go through and then, well, I shouldn't say it'll go through,
It should
It-
say seven.
it's gonna go and after,
Next
After
plan
the
commission
next
is a
plan.
public hearing,
yep,
then we're gonna have a second reading at the board meeting, and then they'll have the second reading, and then they'll adopt the ordinance, amending the ordinance. And then at that time, we've gotta petition the county, because we have our own zoning, we have to petition the county to also sign off on that, but I was gonna then have you guys start paperwork for the special exception. We just can't, I don't know when that will be until the county approves it, but once I know the county's approved it, then I can line you up for the next plan commission meeting, we have to
Right.
do a class 2 notice.
Okay,
And then the public hearing for your actual special exception would be at the plan commission meeting, and then it would come to the town board the following week for the approval. It's just that last part just depends on when the county signs off on it.
right, cause it's something that doesn't exist yet, basically, right?
Right, right, so we can't I can have you work on paperwork,
Yeah.
and even if you applied for it and gave me I wouldn't cash the check until it's actually go and we set up the plan commission meeting. We
So
know
what
what
do they
they
need to do next?
They're,
Wait,
just
wait.
wait, they'll wait, and I'll let you know when we can get that, cause that's okay if I have them working on the special exception before it's approved, I thought.
so potentially they're like December, is that would be your educated
If I
guess?
can get the plan commission,
Okay.
yes, if I can get the county board, and I'm gonna get it and send it over right away, I'll probably email it too. Just so that they can
Yeah.
get it on their agenda.
Agenda, yeah,
That's the biggest is when they put it on, cause it has to go through committee, right?
yeah,
Goes to committee, then it goes to agenda,
Mhm.
board of agenda.
But it sounds like the public hearing could be challenging, maybe, depending on how the public feels about it. That's the sentiment I got today, so we'll see.
You have one,
Concerns.
you have one, yeah, who lives very close.
Okay, that's fair. I sense maybe that went back before, but, no, we appreciate all your work.
So if this all goes through, just curious, next year you're thinking, 23?
I think realistically now,
Yeah, it does
so.
seem like that,
Yeah.
Yeah,
We were kind of hoping this year, but I don't
Just-
think
To,
that it allows for
Yeah.
that.
to speak to
Quick
some,
time.
some of her questions, so the reason is we're looking for a permanent home for what we do. Right now, we just rent at the county fair, the county fair. And the track the fairgrounds is actually split between Baytown and Stillwater. We're on the Stillwater part, so there probably wouldn't be a lot of visible Baytown benefits, but we're on Stillwater's commerce and trade website and all that stuff, and they work with us, so. So anyway, yeah, we're renting there right now. We'd like to make a permanent home, and I think that would be a great opportunity for us to, you know, build something, and if there's appetite in the city to build an attraction, and that's what it's been for Stillwater, but they don't have a space for it.
They
We
don't have
can
the
just use it
infrastructure
in
for us.
winter.
Everything has to be temporary, so we have to have temporary lighting, temporary water has to all be brought in, all of those things, which
Why don't
that
we,
part-
not
Yeah.
do
Not
anymore?
go more?
It's not on the
Just-
agenda, and
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't wanna
Fair enough.
jeopardize when you
Well,
do make an application.
Thanks for listening. Alright. Get you home to bed.
Alright, thanks.
Okay,
So
Thank
the only
you.
thing is this is, the meeting's at 6, it should be at 7, right?
Yes, thank you.
Make it 8.
We can make a motion, but, yeah, put 8.
no,
Terrible.
if you're gonna do 8, you're
7
gonna do
PM.
Wrong date or something.
Okay,
Any more adjustments to the brochure?
now, what are we gonna do about getting this printed? I know you did the last one, but I think we need like 600 of them.
Oh, I can't do 600.
No, so should I send this to
Yeah,
copy
yeah.
shop and then I've got my handy dandy
That
folder?
Yeah, wherever you wanna copy stuff.
Okay, cause I think we should get this out as soon as possible.
I might be able to run it in-house.
Oh,
I'll
you
let you
could,
know price, yeah.
okay, oh, yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's closer
I
to
would
promise.
do, but I know this printer that I've gotten here for
No, I
color
wouldn't
is
use
like
that
the,
thing.
that is so slow. I mean,
Not
even
that
mine
slow,
at home, I could kick out more,
Yeah,
you know.
Do you
But-
wanna do envelopes again too, or are you printing labels, or what?
I'm just
What
gonna
this
print
is-
the labels,
Okay,
just because, I mean, I think it's cheaper. I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
don't
when
have
we,
to-
and the
if you-
time,
If you wanna do, my printer can do that. If you just give me the name and address, names and address on an Excel spreadsheet, I can do all the envelopes on my printer. Piece of
instead of
cake.
doing, well, I can just do sheet labels,
You don't
just
have to
kick it out.
put any labels on that. I
Oh,
can put the
yours just
return
takes-
address and the
Okay.
address.
Okay,
I
and then
can
we'll
do
just
that.
sit and stuff them quick, and like I said, it'll be quick to,
As-
cause I just
yeah.
know, I just would like to get them out as soon as
Yep,
possible.
600 is the number we're going?
I think so, let me just double check.
Okay.
Can I let you
Yeah,
know
cause
right
I
away in
need
the
this
morning?
from you anyway, so yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, just anytime you can get me the Excel spreadsheet, I can
Yep,
start printing them.
Great. Item J, consider and approve citations for animals running at large.
Before we get to, do you think we should put on here?
No, sorry.
No, I just caught this, town has purchased a backhoe and a grader in an effort to reduce, should we put in there, we did upgrade the town truck as well?
we've got a truck on order.
Well, I'm just
I
saying,
don't want them to, you know, I don't know, I don't want it to be perceived that we're buying everything new either, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So maybe the town is,
Upgrading
investing in
vehicles.
upgrading his equipment
Yeah.
or.
yeah, maybe we don't have to label everything.
Yeah,
Okay, where do you see that now?
It's on like the third paragraph.
1, 2, 3, the town, okay,
Has
reevaluated.
purchased equipment?
The town has upgraded equipment, has purchased,
Has improved equipment
Has
and road
improved.
plan.
has
Yeah,
improved equipment and road plan.
Mention the road plan, but as much maintenance and prep work in-house instead of contract on these services. But we don't mention nothing about our pooling with other,
Yeah, it's right before.
It's above it.
yeah. It's on
Has
there.
joined with other local municipalities.
oh, right there, okay, I read that too. You don't like to read. Yeah, I don't know. That was-
So the
I'm done.
town has improved equipment
Yeah.
and has improved equipment and a road plan,
And road maintenance plan.
and a
Yeah.
road maintenance plan,
In an effort to.
in an
reduce-
effort.
Yep, there you go. Alright.
Maintenance plan, okay, thank you.
And these numbers are accurate, the
Yes,
perfect.
well, yeah, they, actually, I
We
did these
talked about that
before I
last
got
meeting,
the
cause you got your
official.
215 number from this year's,
The 8676, I actually can use this now that I've got, figured out this
but you, the one here, since the
resolution.
town's last levy, it had increased 22% from 176 to 215. you used the 215, I thought we talked about that last month.
215 is what it costs now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so that, them numbers were talked about.
You know, I'm wondering about the
No, on
86
this, so what I
cent
can
per
do,
100,000.
Oh,
yeah, so what I'm gonna do, since now this, I think it's just a couple decimals different, so I'll use this percentage and just update these, critique these numbers a little bit. Cause the percentage you're raising, this came out like 40, and it's actually 39.26. I know this was 40 point something that I used here, so I'll actually use 39.26 and just amend these. It's not gonna be much of a difference, but I'll use that
And
percentage.
it goes off of our assessment that just happened.
Yes.
not for you. You could put a new shed up. Get him for every dollar he has.
You're taking it.
Okay.
Alright, item J, dogs running at large, we're talking about what, charging back?
We talked about it.
I do not know, so this is our ordinance, it covers citations, we have citations in our fees and penalties, so this is, I would assume, I write out a penalty, you need to tell me which ones you want me to charge. Or if we're starting this after the first, or what you guys wanna do, we can do penalties, so this is, it's
We
a
charge other
citation that I send to the county.
Can we charge other municipalities?
I don't know, that's an Adam question.
No.
So we're saying like if somebody's dog is picked up for running, instead of us
Insecurity.
paying.
Oh, remember last month?
Yeah, instead of us paying the 75, charge
Yeah.
the person whose
And the
dog it
person got
is.
their dog back successfully, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
It's happened more than once. I just wanna charge what we get charged. I
Yeah.
don't know if we should have a flat fee, just whatever Daryl charges us, hey, it's a feed through to you.
Yeah,
I don't know, that's what I'm,
wanna let your dog.
But they're gonna have to pay this fee plus the court costs at county.
why court? We're not going to.
Their citations, they have to go to the county.
Go to court.
That's why you guys are gonna tell me which ones to do. I'm not gonna pick and choose.
Why can't we just have a free will donation then?
How many do you think will donate to that one?
In this amount that Daryl charged us. Oh, that's just a can of worms in my mind.
Yeah, it
If we
is.
gotta start citationing and,
It is,
Yeah, it's not something that you can special
No.
charge on their taxes, so.
no,
So realistically, we spend what, $200-300 in
is that all we spend a year on it?
it has gone up, but you're right, it hasn't, it's not
Not
like.
significant.
Can we
huge.
just send them the bill from Daryl
See,
and
that's
say,
what I
please pay
thought.
this? I'm not saying they will, but instead of
Or we
citing,
send them
just
a
say,
copy of it, this is what the township paid on your behalf.
Oh,
They can throw it away, or they can be like, hey, do we owe you money, Janet?
maybe let's send a thank you card.
and maybe that's more work than it's worth too, I don't
Yeah.
know.
You could amend your dogs running at large to be a nuisance and send them a nuisance ticket. They're doing that. I don't know, if you're just trying to recover $50, it's probably not worth screwing
No,
around with.
it's
yeah,
not,
yeah,
it's not.
probably not. It just made me mad when I saw how much it was and then we're paying it for somebody who
Or we
lets the
charge more for
dogs
dog
run.
licenses.
You have
You
no idea
can't,
how much you
statute
charge
limits
for
it.
idiots with the fire stuff. That's
Oh.
way more expensive than this.
Oh, really?
Oh, how many fire calls do you go to that's set by idiots?
A lot,
A lot.
You're kidding.
Oh,
just dumb people that don't get permits.
especially the grass fires. It's crazy.
And then we're paying for it.
Tens of thousands of dollars in cost for that.
See that smoke today?
Focus. We got one more item.
Um, so this next one, are we done with the dog?
Yeah, I think we just table that. or
So
throw
item
it off.
P, we threw it off. I asked Steve and Janet on, what are our road regulations, cause there is not clear understanding of what a class B highway was. So it's not up for any action or changing anything, it's just basically an informative. What's the rules on a class B highway?
Class B highway is restricted weight per axle. So, somebody who wants to run through our town has to meet that, 20%, so we have weights per class A, they dictate what the weights are. when you go to a class B, so gross weight imposed on highway for any axle may not exceed 20,000 pounds, or the vehicle combination of vehicles and implement husbandry, or two vehicles, so it's 20,000 per axle. Is that correct? I'm trying to think now, I didn't just read
I
this.
think Class B is just 60% of Class A.
Yes,
if I remember.
correct. So then in this section, a Class B highway includes, any, basically, those county trunk highways, town highways, and city and village streets or portions thereof which have been designated as Class B highways by local authorities. We did that, we adopted the ordinance. So, except as provided in sub 3, and subject to any other modifications made by city of a first class pursuant to 349-15-3, no person without a permit therefore shall operate on a Class B highway any vehicle or combination of vehicles imposing wheel axle, group of axles, or gross weight on the highway exceeding 60% of the weights authorized as Class A. Now, it says, any motor vehicle whose operation is pickup or delivery, including operation for the purpose of moving or delivering supplies or commodities to or from any place of business or residence that has an entrance on a Class B highway, may pick up or deliver on a Class B highway without complying with the gross vehicle weight. So this is just strictly for a dump truck who doesn't want to go up to 35 and deal with the traffic. He cuts down this road and goes into Eureka and down to G. The prime example of offenders on this are the city Cisco food trucks coming from the high school going to Walmart on our town roads.
Or to
They
Superior or Balsam.
Yes, they should not be using our town roads. Our garbage trucks don't meet this, our buses, all of that, but they don't have to because they're doing business on that road. So when Paragon calls me, after the one incident, he just wanted to be safe, but I said, you're technically fine by our ordinance, but, he took 200th down, to 140th to the driveway. He, by law, can do that, but I also did give him an exemption just because he was paranoid, because that was the day after somebody else got hit in another municipality.
Was that Nick's got hit in?
No.
No, it was another one, but there was a lot more. It was the cost of that ticket was for a lot more than just the Class B violation.
It's so much per pound. It's $250 a pound, you got a $5,000 ticket.
Yeah, but there had to have been more still.
I don't think
it was not.
He was all legally,
He was legal.
Okay, because it's not at farm equipment, this has to follow commercial DOT regs.
It did. It was
Okay.
just for weight.
Oh,
Correct.
wow, okay.
It's strictly weight based. He pulled out the scales and they weighed.
I'm just
Yep.
curious if the trooper either doesn't understand the statute,
Well, that's what I tried to.
or if they weren't actually delivering in the town, or the driver didn't say, hey, I'm just going down to this guy that's on this road. I don't understand what the issue was, but.
Did it ever get resolved, or they had to pay?
Well, that's up to them to
He's-
fight it in court if it
Yeah.
wasn't
Oh.
legit.
Just happened.
Was that Nick's? Was that
Kyle.
No.
Who was it?
Kyle Swanson.
Oh,
But Nick, I think they got another guy after Kyle. I didn't know it was Nick.
it might have been Nick's.
Yeah.
Nick mentioned it to me that Milltown had put this on and it's causing some
Yeah.
issues.
So if I take my truck and, well, it's under 20,000 pounds.
I'd like to
Yeah.
see you pull that weight that's required with your truck.
Yeah.
Cause
just
I
take
had
out
the
backhoes
same,
all the time.
I had the same thing, Dumbrock called me, and the Superior guy was laughing at me, he goes, he can't pull that, if he can pull that weight and not pop his tires, I'd love to see it. Cause you're not going to. And that's the same, somebody
trooper
said,
might
oh,
need
I
to-
have to have 60% of
That's
the
just
people in
it,
my
yeah.
car, I mean, it's not about that, it's just,
Well, this is good clarification because I think we all had a conversation. I mean, this raised a lot of,
I got more than a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Just-
and
I
this
didn't
is so you
understand it,
don't have
so.
delivery people abusing your town roads when they should be on the county and state highways.
yeah, no, I know why we did it. I remember doing this. You know.
Yeah,
Part of the reason trying to save our roads, or your roads.
Yeah.
So to keep those other people from using them as cut across, do we put
It's already
specific
posted.
weight?
It's already
Alright.
listed, so if we see an issue, we can call Your local guys aren't gonna do it, it's your DOT, it's your state patrol guys that are typically.
Yeah, them are the only ones, yeah.
That's all they do, is
In
DOT
this
regs.
township, I've actually driven around with the state patrol, and they've checked all of our signs, so they can ticket every road that we have. It's signed right, put it that way. If they're on it and they're running through, they will get them. Can I mention something about why people are trying to go these Class Bs? When you do vehicle ratings on roads, they call it a measles. A semi is worth 4,000 cars if you do the amount of damage one semi does in a road. So you can take 4,000 cars, which on 200th Street, that's, let's say, 2 days. That's one semi. And you start putting 20, 30 of them down there a day, so now you got times 4,000. And that's why the roads on certain roads are just getting beat up bad.
I think that's what happened on 140th going east when they had the road blocked and all the semis came down there. And
They
that,
did 180 the same way in the
Yeah.
end.
yeah, and,
No.
cause all
Oh,
of a
that
sudden,
was for those
Yeah,
accidents.
that's just
one
for a
day.
few
That was
hours.
That was
frost
like a-
going out too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They
Oh,
pushed the
terrible.
roads that
Yeah,
time of
we-
year.
yeah.
That was but I think under those situations,
We
when
have
it's
no
called
choice.
emergency.
oh, we had no choice, but
Yeah.
you could tell the difference in the road almost immediately.
We have 2 industrial parks that really don't even have to go on a City of St. Croix Falls road, not our industrial parks, to get to their buildings. I mean, they cut through our township all the time. They go into St. Croix Falls, the upper one,
Yep,
and the lower one. They go down to the fairgrounds and cut back around to the school and up in that area. And that needs to stop, cause if we have a brand new road there, they're gonna wreck. But I'm not saying, I would never call anybody to come and ticket them, but when they get stopped, I have no sympathy for them. I mean, they know they shouldn't be on them.
Yeah.
They can come off of Highway 8 and go into the industrial park without routing through St. Croix.
well, this spread like wildfire, I know
Oh, yeah.
people are being a little more, I can't be on this road, I can't be on, so. This is good, I'm gonna pass this
Well,
along.
thank you for the clarification. I think everybody has a better understanding.
I know there's a lot on here, but I couldn't just hit the main point without
Yeah, no,
kind of
that's
explaining the,
Nope,
No,
that's
it's
great.
Another township just this week adopted Class B roads too, right next to us over there.
Huh?
In case you go that way.
Item L, anybody have any training you would like to go to? Alright, public comment?
Everybody left. Budget workshop,
mhm,
October 19th.
Yep.
We have that yet tonight?
Yep.
Oh, jeez Louise. You're yawning and I'm getting ready to fall asleep. Okay, sorry.
Break between them, President?
Sure.
Okay, so there's no public comment, who's making the motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Oh, do we need to set the date and time, or it's for tomorrow? We did that earlier. I mean, next month. when we
Oh,
do it.
it's 16th,
The
November
16th
16th is
At
the meeting.
6 p.m.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
should
for
have
the other
printed
one. Yep.
these things.
I got a I made copies
Oh,
for you
great.
guys,
Thank
so,
you.
so it is 7, my glare on that, 7,
47,
thank you.
48, 47.
Okay. I will give the one-sided copies to
Yes.
Jeremy
adjourn first.
and Will.
Yeah, good
I'm
job.
kidding, they're all one-sided, you can keep passing them around.
Have fun at the workshop.
Ah,
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Adam.
guys.
one more, and then Sharon's.
Okay, we're on break for what, 10 minutes?
run and get you some
Jack
Daniels
Do we
No,
want
I
to do
can't
this
do that.
live for the?
But I could have some wine.
Okay.
It's up to you guys, but